Hi, it's George Smith from Bigger, Brighter, Bolder Mindset for Success, and today I want to talk to you about one of the fundamentals of success and of personal performance, and that is the juggling act of our many personality traits, many of which are conflicting with each other. So in case you haven't worked this out already, there are multiple personalities going on in here and in there, your heads. Okay, you'll have a part of your brain that says, I really want to be successful. Another part of your head that says, I don't really want to work very hard. A big part of your life that says, I want to be liked and I want to be loved and I want to be out there meeting people. Another part of you sitting there saying, I don't want to be judged and I don't want to be criticized and I don't want to be rejected. There'll be another part of you that sits there and says, you know what, I really want to make money and be rich. Another part of you saying, I don't want to be greedy and I want to earn too much money. These conflicting personality traits are holding you back. Imagine they're like forces, imagine like elastic bands. And you've got a load of elastic bands pulling you this direction, and you've got some elastic bands pulling you in this direction, okay? Depending on where the majority of the force is will depend on which way you tend to go. So if the majority of your personality traits pull you towards what we might say successful behaviors or successful traits, then you'll be moving forward and you'll be creating a degree of success. If the majority, however, those forces are pulling away from that, then of course you'll be having very limited success, dare I say, even potentially failure. Now, of course, very few of us are completely pulled in one direction or the other. Most of us can see straight away when we look at ourselves and we listen to our own thoughts and even look at our own emotions about how we're being pulled from one way to the other, that we have conflicting desires, conflicting outcomes. The one to be really liked and to be outgoing and to be accepted by people, and the one that's really fearful of being rejected and criticized, okay? And that limits our behavior, that stops us getting the most out of that aspect of our life. And the same with everything else. I want to be fit and slim and healthy and have a six-pack, but I don't want to starve myself. I don't want to work too hard in the gym, or I don't want to have to go without chocolate or cake or beer or wine or whatever it might be. These conflicting traits are holding you kind of in equilibrium. You might be slowly moving towards more greater levels of success. You might be actually going the other way. Actually, what tends to happen, eventually we kind of get stuck in equilibrium. All these elastic bands going out tend to be like a spider's web, and we can get caught in that web, and we're kind of in this place where we're not really achieving all that we want to achieve, but equally we're kind of not necessarily completely failing. So this is kind of a trait or something we find a lot with kind of semi-successful people, okay? Semi-successful people have come so far and then they get stuck in this equilibrium. Unless we start to cut those bands which are holding us back, then we are going to really struggle to keep moving forward. In fact, the more we move forward, the tighter those bands are going to get and the more they're going to hold us back, and then we're going to find another equilibrium. In fact, moving forward can feel so hard, so tough, that eventually we can get so exhausted that we might just put up with what we've got, or maybe even relax a little bit, and we might end up going back to where we started, or heaven forbid, sometimes even worse than we started. So here's what you're going to do. You need to cut those bands that are holding you back, and then you can absolutely fly forward. If you didn't have the fear of being rejected or criticized or judged, then you could absolutely just fly forward with your ambitions of being gregarious and being out there and meeting people so that you can be liked and loved and accepted and acknowledged and whatever it is that you might be driven for in that area of life. If I could cut the bands of me saying, I don't want to do without chocolate, or I don't want to do without coffee, or I don't have to do without sugar or ice cream or whatever, then of course if I cut those, I can leap forward with my being healthy and getting the health that I'm looking for, the physique I want and everything else. Same with money, the same with your relationships, the same with absolutely everything in your life. The first part of this is really simple. You have to become aware of the contradictory traits within you. Understand that your brain is an amalgamation of learnings and conditioning from the whole of your life, and those learnings and conditioning have been contradictory. You've been taught all of the things, you've learned all these things. Be successful, but don't be too successful. Be rich, but not too rich. Get what I'm saying? Be healthy, but don't sacrifice your enjoyment or your fun or whatever it might be. First of all, become really aware of what those conflicting character traits are in you, those personality traits in you, and then you can start to delve in and start to really choose for yourself which are the ones that are going to take you where you want to get to. I'm not here to tell you that one is worse or better than the other. I'm here simply to say that when you're stuck in this position and you're frustrated, something's got to give. For me personally, I'm always going to back success and ambition. I'm always going to back growth, okay? Which means cutting those ties of those things that are holding us back so that we can make a huge leap forward in our personal performance and our overall success. Where are your personality traits conflicting? Get that awareness, start to make the choice for yourself. Which ones are you going to live into? And then it's just a case of breaking a habit. Every time you start feeling yourself going down this route, we have to break that habit and we have to deliberately start to go down this route. You can do some personal development on yourself, you can get some therapy even and work out why you have these bands that are holding you back, and that sometimes can help disperse them. You don't have to always do it on your own, but the awareness is the key to the beginnings, and actually awareness can actually be one of the first instruments to really start cutting these strands, these bands that are holding us back from everything we could be and everything we could have. Get the awareness, look at your personality, realize you really do have multiple personalities. It's not a massive disorder for you. We just need to work out what's going on, then we can make some cuts and then we can move forward, typically in really big ways. I look forward to speaking to you again soon, and until then, as always, be successful.